Well, you've got to hope not. Right. So the first big green bit that you've come over the top of, that's your main spar. That's the backbone to the aircraft. All your engines, undercarriage, everything's bolted to that. First position after your main spar there is your wireless operator's position. So you're first on your right now as you're looking back. Right. This one here is your navigator's position. You had a bench seat that bolted through the floor, a curtain over the position here and a curtain over the main spar. That stops the light from the desk lamp from escaping out the aircraft and showing the aircraft up. It's got things such as a ground positional indicator and an air positional indicator, G, and it had H2S fitted just here as well, which was a ground mapping radar. On our right just here we have the flight engineer's position. Flight engineer's panel here, so we've got all pressures, all temperatures, radiator temperatures, fuel tank contents, fuel boost pumps, fuel crossover cocks. He has a dicky seat which folds up, he sits there for takeoff and landing. The rest of the time really he's stood or knelt. On the left here you've got your pilot's position. So if you like to straddle the column, put your feet forward onto your silver pedals. Bring your control column back towards you. If you turn it left and right like a car, that moves your aileron. So left you bank left, right you bank right. Port aileron's been removed at the moment for overhaul, but if you turn right and look right, you'll see your aileron will lift on the back edge of your wing. Yeah. So that tips your wings over, called banking the aircraft. Towards you and away moves your elevator, so that's the horizontal part of the aircraft at the back. And that will make you climb and descend, so towards you you climb, away you descend.
No, nothing to do with me.
No?
I don't know.
And then your feet are on your rudders, so left foot forward your nose with your left, so it turns left. Right foot forward your nose with your right. And that moves your vertical fins at the back of the aircraft. And rudders on those fins. Down by the side of your seat here you've got what they call trim, so this is the finer adjustment to those flying controls. Silver one is your flaps for landing and takeoff. The red one is your undercarriage to lift and drop your wheels. Then left hand side of your seat, black one with the wooden handle, that's your bomb doors, so that will open and close your bomb doors. By your right hand is your throttle quadrant, so you've got your outboard and your inboard engine throttles. Underneath that you've got your pitch change for your propeller blades. Either side you've got your master fuel cocks that turns the fuel on for the engines. 4 engines on a Lancaster, there's 4 of a lot of things. So there's 4 of all these controls, 4 RPM gauges and 4 boost gauges. Sets of mag switches, there's 2 mags on each engine, so you've got 8 switches. Starting buttons on the right hand side with the black caps over them, that's your 4 starting buttons. And below those in red, the red in a V are your fire extinguishers, and underneath that, sorry, your red in a V are your feathering buttons, underneath that is your fire extinguishers. Straight in front of your column there you've got your blind flying panel, so that enables you to fly the aircraft if you can't see out. So top right is your rate of climb and descent, bottom right is your rate of side slip, top centre is your artificial horizon, and below that is a course setting compass, top left is your airspeed and knots, and bottom left is your altimeter. So if you can master all that, you can fly a Lancaster. Shall we go over it again?
Yeah, sounds easy. Wow. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of things, isn't it?
Obviously the pilot will delegate some things to the flight engineer. Depends on the pilot and flight engineer's relationship as to what they each did.
So have you actually flown Lancaster off?
No, I've just taxied this one.
Taxied it, right.
Yeah.
When they had the problem with the BBMF engine earlier in the year, apparently somebody was telling us that they tried to shut off the fuel and the button stuck or something. Is that true?
Yeah,
that button
it would have been the number 4, so that one there.
Oh, down there,
That's
the red ones.
That links to a fuel cock within the wing and the fuel cock on the engine itself, on the carburetor. It's stuck because of the heat, really.
Yeah.
So the tanks are in the wing?
The 6 fuel tanks, yep, 3 in each wing. They hold 2,154 gallons as a total, which equates to about 6 tonnes in weight.
And that's good for...
What is it? We're using about 4 gallons a minute, so you've got 500 minutes.
How far is it to Berlin?
You're talking Berlin and back's probably about 6.5 hours.
So that's just at it.
There and back, 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 for the return, for the there and back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not each way.
So there wouldn't be a lot of spare.
No, I mean, you've got a normal weight of £72,000.
Yeah.
So the further you're going, the fewer bombs you can carry because you've got the fuel.
You've got a 10-ton bomb.
It all depends, of course, how high you're flying, whether you've got a headwind, a tailwind, all that kind of thing. So it's a rough estimate.
Yeah.
I'll swap over in the seat.
Here.
So again, you can move all your flying controls if you want.
Yeah.
The engines are Merlin 24s, so 27 litres, 1640 horsepower each, and they weigh about a tonne each with propeller blades on. So you've got 4 tonnes of engines.
1600, yeah. So you got about 6,500. Yeah.
If you want to photograph in the cockpit, you can lean out and give the photographer a thumbs up.
Do you like down there?
Yeah, so
Do you want to come over?
you actually sit in there?
What, for the gun job?
Yeah.
Andrew,
Yep.
questions?
Yep.
Do you actually sit there?
Yeah, the seat itself folds back for you to climb into it, and then the seat folds back underneath you.
So but one person operates this and sits between there and there, or just two people?
One man does the 2 jobs, yeah.
2 jobs.
When they weren't over the target, he was supposed to be up into the front turret, but it was very seldom used. They would speak to a bomb aim, but they're more likely to be laid down looking out at what's coming up, because the navigator can't see out the aircraft. So he's reliant on other people telling him what's coming, make sure his course is right.
Yeah.
See where you're going as
Not
such,
for a start,
can
not
you?
until your tail comes up.
Right.
Yeah. It's a bit like
Slightly worrying.
a bit like a Spitfire. When they taxi, they weave, so they look out the side of the aircraft. Just a
Right.
little bit similar. Isn't it?
But it's like all small planes. As I say, I was in one in Africa this year, and you haven't got a clue where you're going.
In a tail
Because
dragger, the nose obviously points up.
Yeah, the flaming thing's going on.
Yeah, no.
It's very thought-provoking.
You can move all your flight controls if you wanted to, just to feel how heavy they are. So you bring your control back towards you.
This one?
Yeah, that's it. The yoke. That's it. It's all changing
down?
rods, so that there's no hydraulic aid to it or anything. It's just your strength that manoeuvres the aircraft.
Yeah. So so the loss of hydraulic pressure then is that total chaos?
Well, it will affect your turrets, your undercarriage, your bomb doors, and your flaps.
Yeah.
You've got a backup system for your bomb doors, your undercarriage, and your flaps with compressed air. So more use over, you can blow them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your bomb doors down here. We're in the down open
Just-
position at the moment.
What was that, Andrew?
That's trim, so that's the finer adjustment to the flying controls. So you can trim the aircraft off to keep it balanced, so you don't have to be
Right.
fighting it all the time effectively.
If I move out, perhaps you'd like to get in, Robert, would you?
Well, I'll have a quick pull on the thing, but
I'm quite little, I can squeeze
you have
by.
many skills.
I can.
Was there a...
Yellow handle top left. Try to get one
Oh, I
foot to the
see.
side of the column. If you'd like a photo, you can lean out and give them a thumbs up.
No,
So how did you
I'm pretending.
learn to operate this?
Well, I work here full time, so the decisions are made to teach me how to do it.
We're going to swap if we can get past each other.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
that's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah,
That's why I said it's thought
Because the
provoking,
aircraft
because
isn't. well,
we're
it's the
worrying about
aircraft,
this now,
it's
and
not
yet if you're
a covered
flying
bus,
and you,
I know.
it doesn't
I
fly.
just
Well, under attack or
that's it, yeah,
falling,
We had a
spiraling,
training scheme that we had to
hydraulic
make.
fluid going everywhere at night.
it's just
It's unbelievable,
We
isn't
had a
it?
training scheme that we had to make and develop in order to
That
train.
reverse TARDIS is a very good description. Very good description.
So what are the foot pedals?
They're your rudders, they're your vertical fins.
Oh,
or the vertical
both.
rudders
Somehow
at the back of
squeezed
the
by
aircraft.
each other.
Right, yeah. What was the
That's it. If we can go
How
back,
do you
Can I
work?
go
I'll go
down? Have I
back
got
as
time
far
to
as
go
we
down there?
Which part of it, sorry?
well, yeah, we just got to
The elevator.
out.
we've got to do the logistics of this,
So
haven't
that's
we?
your ailerons. So left and right moves your ailerons
Right.
on your wings. So that banks your aircraft left
Yeah,
and right.
yeah,
as far as we
Towards
can
you in
go.
a way moves your elevator so that you climb and descend.
That's it.
yeah. What's this, Andrew?
That's your brakes. So that brakes your wheels.
Oh,
You've got a
right.
differential braking system to help with taxiing.
Yeah,
So you can brake the right or the left
like a
wheel.
John Deere.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Ah, there must have been. There must have been. It's amazing, I suppose.
You're small.
Yeah, and I suppose there's a bit of adrenaline as well, but nightmare. And I mean, it's in the dark as well, half the time,
Yeah,
isn't
of course. Yeah.
it? God, no wonder there weren't many women pilot. did I say that?
You said it out loud.
Oh, sorry, Yvonne. You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, good.
I just did something about.
I was being naughty. So, yeah. No, it's cramped, isn't it? But then again, it's as it was always going to be.
I'll swap over and let John have a seat
Yeah,
at the pilot
yeah.
seat.
Uh,
You are bombing, John.
I'm bombing.
You're bombing, yeah.
I'm bombing.
You sit in the seat, you can move the controls, and then yeah. There's not much point going if you're not here, is there?
There's a method to this, and if I squeeze it around
right,
there
so you
is.
sit in here. That's it. And if you can squeeze right up to the column, sorry, to the panel, and then John, if you can slip in the other hand on the top left. Try to get one foot to the other side of the column as you go in.
Yeah.
That's it, and slide over.
I don't bend like I used to. I won't go there.
So you can move all your flying controls.
What do you reckon,
yoke
Yvonne?
back towards you.
So that's the rudder.
Your rudder's on your feet, so left and right, you know for your left and right. Towards you and away moves your elevator, so towards you climb, away you descend. Then ailerons on your yoke, you turn it left and right like a car. So left your bank left and right your bank right. If you'd like to photograph in the cockpit, Alan's out there with his camera, he can take your photo for you.
Can I? I'm not.
It's hard to do anything because you can't actually move away from the truck.
No. Oh, I don't mind flying. But, no, it's yeah.
Obviously a bench here.
And you're a volunteer?
The navigator.
Really? I expect it was you.
At least down the back. 2 or 3 ways to get out.
Yeah.
Can I get any
This is quite lovely.
You get a great play with the air crew.
Are you on
volunteer to the air crew?
No, I'm
Can be
cockpit.
conscripted into the air force. You can conscript into an aircraft. So you have to volunteer to the air crew, but you did get flying pay.
You're flight engineer, isn't it?
Sorry?
You did get a cooked breakfast.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, with real eggs. Right, if we can swap over and about to get into our taxiing positions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you two can come back and John go down, and then I'll swap over.
Can I grab hold of?
Somebody
Can
else.
you or not? Hold on.
You slide all the way back up, and then you can stand up when you're back.
Can you get your feet on that next bit?
Can I put on that?
No, don't put on that.
Oh, hey,
That's it. Well done.
brilliant.
Done it.
Thank you. That was easy.
Well, the only Lancasters in America are owned by Credit Weeks and all boxed up in containers. We B-17?
No, they've got American planes and British planes.
I'll come back here.
No. The only Lancaster on the American continent, the Americas, is in Canada. Or is that? Canada. Yeah, well, we pulled back. It's a radar position that's put in post-war, yeah.
Awesome. What can I say now?
To get a good view.
Yeah, I was in that mid-upper, so it's getting your head over this bit here.
Yeah, what you want to try and do is bring your bum this way, because you've got more room to come back then.
Would be a very good idea, that, because if you did accidentally take off and you're knackered.
Getting out again. I was going to go in the rear turret again, I'd picture it.
How is it to get in there,
I
right?
think
It's not airworthy at the
a
moment.
bit of an
no.
experience.
Yes, yeah, no reason why not. What we're working towards.
You made it, well done.
Yeah, the whole
That was
project.
a
about
job.
£3 million. You have a look at my name as if you
Yeah, now if I can do that, anyone can do that, but sit on it and then swivel. Yeah, like we did with the rear turret. There's only room for 2 up here, isn't there?
Coming number 5, the time's up.
Rob, yeah.
The cockpit handles will work, sir. They will not actually put any ammunition in.
Kneel down, leaning forward.
It'll be on radar. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Okay. Real bacon and eggs because we're air crew. None of the powdered rubbish that the rest of the country is surviving on. Okay. The second time he's allowed out is at the express permission of the pilot, because don't forget here is our rear looking outpost, okay? So at the express permission of the pilot, he'd be allowed out of his turret to use the onboard facilities. Just here where Yvonne is stood would be a small chemical lavatory, okay, non-flushable, all right, which we could deposit liquids only. Anything else, make sure you go beforehand or hang on to it, okay? If you can't hang on, it's in the suit, I'm afraid.
I'm surprised they even had that. Actually, I thought it'd be even less than that. I thought
No,
it'd be even simpler because of weight and.
Yeah, no,
I
but
thought
a small
it'd be really.
chemical.
I thought it was going to be quite rough.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's the RAF, so it's not the Army, okay?
No, I know
third
the RAF
time-
were better, weren't they?
The third
Clearly.
time that our rear gunner is allowed to leave his position is on evacuation, and obviously that's most important. He can evacuate the position in two different ways, both of which start with opening the blast doors that would be shut behind him, reaching out with his left hand and grabbing his parachute off the fuselage. That then goes on round his waist. It's just a waist belt, there is no harness. None of the crew would be wearing their parachutes at any time until needed, because there's no room to manoeuvre around with them, okay? That big gap in the mid upper turret there that you've all come through quite nicely now, that would be filled with hydraulics, and literally at the top of those little steps you'd have a 2 foot high by 2 foot wide gap to crawl forward through, or indeed crawl forward back. 1,100 in total. Okay. The rate of fire at the temperatures he would be sat there, and he could be sat there at -40, okay. The rate of fire for these guns increases from 500 rounds a minute, as it would be on the ground, to nearly 900 rounds a minute. So he's got to do what we call burst fire, where he's literally depressing the triggers for the count of 3 to try and let no more than 10 rounds go at a time. Okay. His biggest enemy is not the Germans, it's the cold, -40 degrees. That's why when I say to him, are you crushing your nicky nacky news? There's a reason, because he's dressed like the Michelin Man, and if he's not far enough forward, he won't get the blast doors shut behind him. Once they're shut, you can relax into them, it's not too bad. He could be wearing the original 1940s onesies. One is called the teddy bear suit, which is an all-in-one sheepskin ankle to cuff to neck. And the other one is the electric flying suit. Think of the electric blanket off your bed, make it into a onesie, and all we do is we plug it into the electrics, which is great. Until the electrics, which as you can see are very poorly insulated, get to a height round about 15,000–20,000 feet, where they will freeze up, short out, and then he's going to get a little shock somewhere just to remind him that he's still with us. A lot of the guys said that it was always where there was a kink in the wire in the suit, basically. One rear gunner, it was always his left armpit. The other one I've met said it was always his right bum cheek, but at least he knew he was still there. Okay. Any exposed skin will rapidly get frostbite at those temperatures over 5 or 6 missions. So they would quite often, especially on the face, put goose fat on. Again, rear gunner 94 to this day will not have goose fat on his Christmas roast potatoes, because he says the smell takes him back to being 19-year-old again and being stuck in there. Okay. Right, so if you'd like to shimmy out, and Yvonne, if you'd like to make your way down there, my dear, if you want to leave your jacket on the side and whatever, that's fine.
-40.
Yeah, for every 1,000 feet above sea level, we lose 1 to 2 degrees of temperature.
There's room down there for you to get.
Oh yeah, what you get? Oh, for Keith, yeah, for Andrew, yeah.
Mr. Panton,
The surfacing of the Lancaster is 24,500 feet. So as I say, it can be -15 on the ground, it can be -40 up there. Bearing in mind as well, it's the middle of the night, it's dark, it is freezing, okay. It's quite cold touching that today. Imagine that at 4 in the morning, frozen, okay. Are you alright there, sir? So it's the exact opposite of how you got in.
Yeah.
So there's no other heating. There's no other heat taken from the engines.
The only heat we have is on this pipe here, okay,
What's
which
that?
theoretically, that is a heating pipe.
Oh, it is?
Which theoretically pulls hot air from the engines and through sort of little exhaust pipe disperses it into the fuselage. But it was neither use nor ornament to man the beast. Okay, I can neither confirm nor deny, but no, it was rubbish. It would not actually help us at this end at all.
Sorry, is that in your...
Oh, but there's obviously an outlet up there though.
Yeah, there's one there, but as I say, and there's one underneath there. But for it, the hot air at that stage just dissipates very, very quickly.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Just not enough of it to keep up with it.
No, not at all. And we tell everybody to mind their head, Mr. Bradley.
Hey!
I'd cut a 93-year-old veteran up, so that's payback.
That's payback. I'll get to that, sir. Okay. So that's our rear turret. Just inside the door here we have Sydney. Now Sydney would have been one of our 2 onboard carrier pigeons. Reginald's on his holidays at the minute. I'll let you work out why they're called Sydney and Reginald for yourselves. One would have been here by the back door. Okay.
If I pass that back, I think Philip or somebody's going to take it and then take a picture of me.
From the outside, Mum.
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
fine. You can pass that out to Philip.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's all passing round.
Yeah.
Okay. So there would have been one here by the back door, and there would have been one up by the wireless operator desk, because just behind the wireless operator desk there's a hatch in the roof which allows us to escape if we ditch at sea. Okay.
Yeah.
So we ditch at sea, the last man out the door or the dinghy hatch takes the pigeon. The navigator will have written down our last known position into his lead canister, and we send him back to Bomber Command. Hopefully within a couple of hours they will have got your details, and someone, either a boat or a seaplane patrol, is coming to find you. Okay. Two reasons for the pigeon: obviously the homing instincts, but more importantly, pigeons as a species can fly up to 25,000 feet with no extra oxygen. So he's fine. We're on oxygen above 10,000 feet in a non-pressurised aircraft like this. So he'd be fine. Sydney's doing a great
Something
job.
to be learnt there.
Okay. Just inside the door then, opposite the door, because this is a Mark 7, this is where the flare chute would be. In other Marks of Lancaster it may be further up. Now this morning I mentioned the target indication flares from the Pathfinders. Whoever's going down next, if you'd like to have a shot down in the rear gun, that'll be fine. Okay. So this is the flare chute. You open the lid, you put the flare down, shut the lid. It's that easy. Okay. The flares will then descend to a set altitude and automatically ignite. Alright. You, as a part of the bomber force coming along behind, you'd be expected to dispense what we call chaff, codenamed window. You've seen the black and white windows on the briefing map? If you have another look in, okay.
Yeah.
Chaff is basically tin foil which we cut into strips. We throw it out in large bundles so that as it disperses into the atmosphere, hopefully that will confuse the German radar guided guns, because all they're looking for is a metal object in the sky. Okay. More importantly though, for you as a crew, is the photo flash flare. Who was our wireless operator? Yourself?
Yeah.
You're the fittest man on board, sir. Okay.
I wish.
99% of the time you're on radio silence. You
Yeah.
have nothing,
So
to,
nothing
do.
to do
So
other
you
than
get
the-
all the extra little jobs
Yeah.
that no one else can be
Yeah.
released for.
Yeah.
So a couple of minutes before we drop the bombs, you'll come back. When you're told to, you'll drop the photo flash flare. That descends to about 4,000 feet and automatically ignites, made of magnesium, just like the old flash bulbs on the cameras. In that time, the bomb aimer will drop the bombs. Who was my bomb aimer? You, sir. Okay. Just where your left hip was a big black box. That is a camera. Okay. And that would be activated whenever you hit the nipples to drop the bombs. That then takes up to 6 pictures of the target. If you do not have that picture in your hand when you meet the intelligence officer when you get back, this mission does not count towards your 30 that make up your operational tour. Because you cannot prove you were there. Okay, that's all it is. Can't prove you went.
Yes.
All right. More importantly, we also use it for what we call these days bomb damage assessment. Did we hit the target, yes or no? How much damage did we do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all very important stuff. Be on a wing, nose up, nose down. That will always hang straight and true. Now everyone thinks that Lincolnshire is as flat as a pancake, but you can see from that it's not. This pan from the naffy to the grass actually drops 16 inches. You just don't notice it when you're walking it. Okay. That's then electronically connected up to dials on both the navigator and the pilot's position. So the nav can make his changes and the pilot can obviously steer the right course. In the middle of the floor here, we have the internal housing for the H2S radar. Now the H2S radar came in for the Pathfinder Force in November 43, but by the end of the war it was standard fit for all Lancasters. That then goes into that bulbous bit that hangs down behind the bomb bay. Okay. Originally, there's a little box on the navigator's desk that he would have used, but by the end of the war, as I mentioned this morning, we would have had a separate operator who would have sat amidships on the left-hand side at that big black set. It's a ground scanning radar. So basically, if you were able to take a screenshot, you would be able to overlay it on a map. And we'd use it to basically go across the enemy coast, built up areas, that sort of thing, so we knew where we were going. That was another job that the wireless operator used to do. Any jams, he'd come running down and try and fix it. The ammo the medical turret itself is a Martin turret, capable of 360 degrees around the room in an and as we move round, you know what it's like. right, and the heating factor, whoa, okay? Exactly, you couldn't shoot your own plane down. They blanket off towards the tail fins and also towards the cockpit. You can still hit your mates either side, so please be careful, okay? But theoretically not yourself. The hydraulics of that mid of the turret would have filled that area, okay? And literally at the top of those two little steps, you would have had a gap about 2 foot by 2 foot to crawl through to get forward, and more importantly to crawl through to get out again, okay? Especially if we were evacuating the aircraft. The turret, the fuselage itself, 1/8 of an inch thick. That's all it is.